Your choices aren't yours, they're decided 7 seconds early, a fact that slips past us like a whisper in a crowded room. Mia pushed open the glass door of the downtown café, and the tiny brass chime rang out, ricocheting off the concrete walls and echoing in the low hum of city traffic outside. The moment the door swung shut behind her, a wave of warmth enveloped her, carrying the rich, bitter perfume of freshly brewed espresso mingled with the buttery scent of croissants that had just emerged from the oven. Steam curled upward in lazy spirals, catching the fluorescent light and turning it into a soft, amber haze that seemed to settle on every surface. She paused at the entrance, her eyes drifting over the chalkboard menu that was scrawled in chalky white letters, each option framed by hand-drawn doodles of coffee beans and swirls of foam. Caramel, vanilla, hazelnut, each flavor beckoned like a different path in a maze she thought she would navigate herself. A barista, young and eager, smiled at her, his hands moving in practiced circles as he wiped the stainless steel counter with a damp cloth, the cloth leaving a faint sheen that reflected the overhead lights like tiny mirrors. Mia felt the faint, almost imperceptible pulse of the fluorescent lights humming above her head, a low vibration that seemed to sync with the rhythm of her own heartbeat. She reached into her bag, the leather strap of her wallet smooth under her fingertips, the familiar weight of coins and cards grounding her in the present. In that instant, a tiny neural spark flickered behind her eyes, a flash of electrical activity that no conscious thought could yet name. Her brain, that silent architect, had already tagged the latte as the winning choice, filing it away in the subconscious catalogue of desired outcomes. She didn't notice the decision. She only sensed the rising anticipation that tingled at the back of her throat, a subtle craving for something warm and comforting. The coffee machine hissed, releasing a thin, dark cloud of aroma that curled around her like a veil. The scent of roasted beans, slightly smoky, mingled with the faint sweetness of sugar, and for a split second she thought she could taste it on her tongue. Quiet voice in her mind whispered, "I need a break," but a louder, more insistent murmur rose from deeper within her brain, already set in motion, urging her forward. Researchers call this the preconscious primer, a silent commander of action that fires in the motor cortex, sending muscles instructions before conscious thought ever catches up. The signal travels faster than any rational deliberation could ever hope to match, as if a sprinter had already crossed the finish line before the starting gun even sounded. Without realizing it, Mia pressed the sleek, cool metal button for a latte, feeling the slight resistance under her palm, the tiny click resonating like a tiny bell. The cup clinked against the tray with a sharp, crystalline note that pierced the soft chatter of the cafe, a sound that seemed to punctuate the moment as if marking a decision in a diary. She lifted the cup, the warm ceramic radiating heat through her fingers, and took a sip. The silky foam brushed her tongue, sweet and bitter in perfect balance, the flavor unfolding like a story she thought she was writing herself. All the while, her brain had already signed the receipt of decision, its neural ledger closed before she even tasted the first drop. Mia smiled, convinced that she had chosen freely, blissfully unaware of the hidden rehearsal that had taken place in the shadows of her skull. Later, she met her friend Alex at a nearby park, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the benches. Alex, always quick to question, raised an eyebrow and asked, "Did you really decide that latte, or did you just react?" His tone was half teasing, half curious, and the question lingered in the air like a stray leaf. Mia laughed, shrugged, and replied, "I guess my mind is the captain of the ship." Inside her skull, billions of neurons had already plotted the route, a rapid cascade of activity that had chosen the latte before her conscious self could even formulate the word latte. The brain's shortcut is a survival hack, a mechanism honed over millennia to trim thought and speed action. In ancient forests, quick decisions meant escaping predators. In modern life, they reward speed in stock trades, impulse buys, even the swipe of a dating app. Scientists have recorded brain waves that show a decisive spike exactly 7 seconds before a movement, a microscopic window that becomes a silent puppeteer, pulling strings unnoticed. As Mia felt a chill settle over her, the truth seeped in like wind through a cracked window, cold, unexpected, and impossible to ignore. She wondered how many choices slipped through the same hidden filter: voting in an election, sending a text, falling in love. What if each of those moments followed the same unseen script? The answer lies in the brain's predictive engine, forever one step ahead. It scans patterns, compares past outcomes, and tags the optimal path, then launches the motor command, bypassing the slower conscious debate. Mia's heart thumped louder, the coffee cup warming her hands, grounding her in the present. She tried to pause, to breathe, to listen for the pre-decision whisper that had guided her hand. The whisper faded, drowned by the clatter of cups, the hiss of the espresso machine, the barista's friendly chatter about bean origins. She realized that awareness often arrives after the act, like a late guest at a party. The brain's autopilot is efficient, but it also blinds us to hidden motives. When the system decides, we attribute the result to free will, and that illusion fuels confidence, even when choices are pre-written. Mia left the café, the city lights flickering beyond the windows like distant fireflies, each one a tiny beacon of possibility. She glanced at her phone, a notification buzzing insistently, demanding her attention. She hesitated, remembering the 7-second rule, wondering who pressed accept on the message she was about to send. A sudden thought struck her. Maybe she could train the brain to pause. Meditation, she read later, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, slowing the autopilot, giving the conscious mind a chance to catch up. She imagined a future where she feels the electric buzz of the decision signal, then gently redirects it, choosing a different route. In that vision, the taste of coffee lingers on her palate, a reminder of the invisible hand that guided it, but also a reminder that she can now taste the difference between a forced choice and a truly wanted one. She smiles now, knowing that awareness is the first rebellion against the hidden script. The next time she reaches for a decision, whether it's a latte, a career move, or a heartfelt confession, she will notice the subtle cue, the fleeting hesitation, the quiet nudge from her own brain. She will ask herself, is this truly my desire, or just a brain shortcut? The answer may still be fuzzy, but the question sharpens her focus, turning the mundane into a moment of mindful resistance. Next time you decide something fast, pause and ask, was this really you? Let the question linger, let the breath settle, and you might just catch the whisper before it becomes a shout.